Alright, now this question really shouldn't have given anybody too many problems, and I'm quite sure that it didn't, so don't worry too much about looking at this. The answer, of course, should be 560 meters cubed. Alright, so now we got a tray of fudge. Some people weren't too sure if they should calculate the volume or the surface area, but trust me, if you are eating some fudge, you want to have the biggest volume possible. So step 1, find the volume of the fudge. Step 2, divide this volume equally amongst the 24 students. So you find that you have a volume of 216 cubic centimeters. You divide that by 24, and every kid gets 9 cubic centimeters, which is not an awful lot of fudge, but more fudge than you have right now. Alright, big problem with this one. People forgot to multiply by a half to find the area of the triangle. Please don't forget to multiply by a half, and you'll notice that there's that big answer right there, just waiting to be picked by people that didn't multiply by 1/2. Alright, with this question here, I can't imagine doing this without the formula. Notice the workings there. Some people were a little bit confused and tried to use a different radius than 10 meters. Not entirely sure why. Please make sure that you square the radius. Some people didn't do that, and otherwise shouldn't have had too many problems with this. Alright, look at this beautiful workings here. Find the surface area. Now guys, you have to know that this is going to be on the test. You will have to calculate the surface area of a rectangular prism. Now, notice, when we do this, the 70 gets used twice. That shouldn't be a surprise. The 50 gets used twice. That's not a surprise. And the 40 gets used twice. That's not a surprise. And the second half, of course, is exactly the same as the first half. Just going to duck those apart there. When you're doing rectangular prisms, you need to make sure that you use each of the measurements twice and only twice. Total up the surface area, you should be good to go. Some people had some trouble multiplying these numbers, ended up being off by a factor of 10. So they had things like 280 and 350 rather than 3,500 and 2,800. So please make sure you work with your calculator and don't mess this one up. This is one of the easiest questions there is. It will be on the test. Alright, with this question here, determine the volume of the box. This one people really didn't have a whole lot of trouble with, and that's a good thing because this will be on the test as well. Calculate the volume of this triangular prism. Again, a couple people had issues with taking the 1/2. Don't forget to take the 1/2. And finally with this one, capacity means how much can it hold. So for all of you that calculated surface area, don't calculate surface area when we're trying to figure out how much something will hold. And second, you were told that you were going to use all 4 of your little booklets, and at this point you hadn't yet calculated the volume of a cylinder, so you probably needed to know that you needed to calculate the volume of a cylinder. Now, where people did have issues is they forgot about that square. So if you had 0.628 or something for this number here, that's because you forgot to square your 0.2. Don't forget to square your 0.2. And a lot of people had some rounding issues. Okay, I only need to see 2 decimal places. That's fine, but a lot of people used rounded numbers in their calculations. They hit clear instead of having that typed into their calculator, and that caused you a little bit of problems, lost you half a mark there. Alright, so this has been a short little video. You can find this online if you need to see it again, and good luck with your test tomorrow.